When Hurricane Helene reached Tennessee and the Nolichucky River surrounding Unicoi County Hospital began rising rapidly, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Oxenbine and his team thought this was just routine evacuation. But when the waters flooded the ground floor and hospital generators went underwater, 58 patients and staff found their only way out, the hospital roof. "We're losing everyone," screamed the emergency room nurse into her radio as waters reached the second floor. But Dr. Oxenbine was already moving among patients organizing an evacuation plan because this type of crisis management wasn't foreign to him at all. And in the next 6 hours spent in the flooded hospital, everyone in Tennessee would learn who Dr. Sean Oxenbine really was as a leader. Because some people wear doctor uniforms, but in real crisis moments, they transform into life-saving specialists. Welcome to Hidden Legends. Before diving into this incredible rescue story, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from today and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button to help us reach more viewers. Dr. Sean Oxenbine was a 34-year-old experienced chief medical officer who had been working at various Tennessee hospitals for years. Specialized in emergency medicine and hospital administration, he worked with critical care, emergency response, and healthcare system management. He was calm, reliable, always making the right medical decisions at the right time. "Dr. Oxenbine is our healthcare rock," said hospital administrator Patricia Wilson. "When working with him, we know even the most difficult situations will be handled professionally." But Dr. Oxenbine's professional abilities and leadership skills came from very different places than a typical small-town hospital administrator's experience. Other hospital staff found Dr. Oxenbine's response to emergencies remarkable. "Doctor, how do you stay so organized during the highest stress situations?" they would ask. "Experience," Dr. Oxenbine would say quietly. "Every crisis requires systematic approach and team coordination." This experience came from a 17-year career with Putnam County Rescue Squad. Field medicine, emergency response to injured victims, life-saving operations in crisis zones. Dr. Oxenbine had managed life-saving operations with limited resources in the world's most challenging places. Dr. Sean Oxenbine's real story began 17 years ago. He joined Putnam County Rescue Squad in 2007 while still a student at Tennessee Tech University. Sean had been interested in protecting people and helping during emergencies since childhood. Emergency medicine, disaster response, protecting people. "I want to excel in both medical and rescue fields," he had told Putnam County Rescue Squad Assistant Chief David Anderson. During his university years, he received EMT, Emergency Medical Technician training, then Advanced Rescue Techniques training. He showed exceptional performance. He became one of the youngest but most talented members of the rescue squad. Serving in rescue squad was the most challenging volunteer service. Vehicle accidents, fire rescues, natural disaster responses. Sean learned to organize people and save lives in the most difficult conditions. During his 17 years of rescue squad experience, Sean served in various emergency response operations, vehicle accidents, fire rescues, search and rescue operations, emergency medical response, crisis coordination, life-saving operations. Sean's expertise was maximum life-saving with limited resources. His most critical moment came in 2016. He saved a person from a burning vehicle and earned the Presidential Public Safety Officer Medal of Valor, America's highest public safety award. Sean's rescue squad years gave him not just medical knowledge, but real life-saving experience. EMT certification, vehicle rescue techniques, fire response, and search and rescue operations. Every week brought midnight calls, every month a new crisis. "A rescue squad member must be ready for every situation," said Assistant Chief David Anderson. "Sometimes you're a doctor, sometimes a firefighter, sometimes a coordinator, but you're always a lifesaver." Sean learned this mindset by living it. Lost hikers in snowstorms, drowning children in rivers, trapped drivers. Every call was a different challenge, every response a new lesson. Real situations were much harder than simulations. Panicked families, bleeding patients, hazardous material spills. In this environment, Sean learned to stay calm, make quick decisions, and work as a team. All this experience came together during the 2016 burning vehicle accident. A car on fire, a trapped driver, decisions that had to be made within seconds. Sean's EMT knowledge and rescue squad experience meant the difference between life and death. After this incident, the Presidential Medal of Valor was awarded not just for that moment's heroism, but for years of silent service. After his rescue squad experience, Sean decided to pursue medical education. While studying biology at Tennessee Tech University, he served as both Student Government Association president and student representative on the Tennessee Board of Regents. He won the Derryberry Award, Tech's highest student honor. Sean was particularly interested in emergency medicine and community health, emergency medicine, emergency response, hospital coordination. Emergency medicine specialization was a perfect fit. At East Tennessee State University Quillen College of Medicine, Sean was overqualified. EMT training, rescue squad experience, emergency leadership. His biology background and rescue squad experience provided an excellent foundation. He also showed leadership in medical school, class president, member of Emergency Medicine Residents Association, and Gold Humanism Honor Society. "I've always wanted to work in emergency medicine," Sean said, "to provide professional medical service to people in their most critical moments." After completing emergency medicine residency at Wake Forest, he became chief medical officer at Ballad Health. In February 2016, Sean and his fiancée were returning from a ski vacation when they witnessed a two-vehicle accident near Johnson City. One person died, the other was trapped in a burning car. As soon as Sean saw the accident, his EMT and rescue squad training kicked in. One of the vehicles was on fire with a living person inside. Together with off-duty Sheriff's Deputy William Buchanan, they tried to rescue the trapped driver. The door was jammed, fire was spreading rapidly. Sean remembered the heavy-duty ratchet strap in his SUV. He attached the strap to the car door and his SUV's tow hook, using it to pry the door open. The moment the driver was pulled out, the vehicle burst into flames. Sean's quick thinking and EMT training had saved a life. For this incident, he was honored in 2018 by President Donald Trump at the White House with the Presidential Public Safety Officer Medal of Valor, America's highest public safety award. "I was just doing the job I was trained to do," Sean had said. "I believe God places us in situations to use the skills He's given us, and this day was one of those situations." On Friday, September 27, 2024, Sean was performing his normal chief medical officer duties: hospital administration at Ballad Health facilities, staff coordination, patient safety protocols, routine medical decisions, normal emergency medicine specialist, and hospital administrator work. At 9:30 a.m., Sean was evaluating critical patient situations at Unicoi County Hospital. Hurricane Helene was approaching. Emergency procedures needed to be reviewed. "Dr. Oxenbine, patient safety protocols are ready," said his colleague Dr. Miller in a professional tone. "Good, but the hurricane projections look more serious than normal procedures account for," Sean said with an analytical approach. Sean was monitoring unusual developments in weather reports: Hurricane Helene's unexpected strengthening, direct path toward Tennessee, critical warnings about Nolichucky River water levels. At 2:30 p.m., an urgent announcement came over the hospital speakers. "All staff attention. Hurricane Helene, intensity higher than expected. Routine evacuation procedures being updated." Immediate mobilization began in the hospital. Nurses checking patient files, technicians preparing medical equipment, security personnel reviewing evacuation routes. "Dr. Oxenbine, hurricane projections have changed. We need new plans," said the emergency coordinator. Sean looked out the window. The Nolichucky River was normally a calm waterway, but now its color was muddy, its flow visibly increasing. He had seen similar scenes during his rescue squad years. This wasn't just rain, it meant flooding was coming. The latest warning from the National Weather Service confirmed his concerns. Nolichucky River will rise to historic levels. Low-lying structures in the area are at risk. Sean visualized the hospital layout in his mind. The building was only a few meters above river level, with the basement completely below ground level. If the river really overflowed, when Sean looked at the Nolichucky River from the hospital, he saw the seriousness of the situation. Other hospital staff were applying routine hurricane evacuation procedures, but Sean was making disaster scenario assessments based on his rescue squad experience. He understood the river's rate of rise, water level increase rate, hospital targeting, potential infrastructure losses, urgent coordinated evacuation requirements. 58 patients and staff at different medical levels, but coordination was critical. Sean made automatic emergency assessment, water behavior analysis, maximum patient safety priority, evacuation coordination planning, rescue optimization, rescue squad response plan, water neutralization strategy, patient protection maximization, coordinated rescue operation. Sean's behavior pattern completely changed. Rescue squad emergency sensitivity, EMT coordination, systematic situation assessment. The normal chief medical officer disappeared. The rescue squad specialist activated. Sean encountered emergency coordinator James Mitchell in the hospital corridor, a middle-aged, experienced hospital security specialist. Dr. Oxenbine, please focus on routine hurricane evacuation procedures. We have the situation under control, James said with a standard approach. James, Nolichucky River water level projections look much more serious than routine procedures account for, Sean said. Our standard hurricane protocols are designed for these situations. The hospital is prepared for such conditions. Sean's eyes observed the river from the window. The water level increase rate matched disaster patterns he knew from rescue squad experience. Then, he visualized the hospital evacuation plan in his mind. James, coordinated emergency evacuation may be needed for critical patients. This isn't a normal hurricane, Sean said quietly but with rescue squad authority. What do you mean? Dr. Oxenbine, you're the chief medical officer. I'm also a 17-year Putnam County Rescue Squad specialist, EMT training, emergency rescue experience, Medal of Valor recipient. This situation is much more serious. Both medical and rescue coordination may be required. James hesitated. Sean's authoritative speech and mention of his rescue squad background impressed him. Dr. Oxenbine, if you really have rescue squad experience, someone who can handle this situation needs to coordinate. I'll also prepare emergency equipment. Coordinated rescue operation may be necessary. At 6 p.m., the nightmare began. The Nolichucky River overflowed as if a dam had burst. Water first flooded the hospital garden, then the parking lot, then the emergency room entrance. Sean stood at the hospital entrance, watching the water flow toward the building. This is too fast, he murmured. His rescue squad experience had taught him what it meant when water rose this quickly. Very little time. Within minutes, the ground floor was completely underwater. Since the generators were in the basement, they shut down immediately. The hospital was plunged into darkness, with only the dim light of emergency lamps remaining. All patients to upper floors, Sean shouted. But most of the 58 patients and staff were elderly and in critical condition. Ambulances couldn't approach the hospital due to the water. The water didn't stop after flooding the ground floor. It started flowing up the stairs. As Sean told NBC News, there were literally flowing rapids, probably 6 inches to a foot high, flowing within the building. Every team member, even with that, were pushing those gurneys to get them out through the doors. Critical patients were heavy. Sean and his team began carrying them on their backs to the roof. Sean carried 78-year-old heart patient Mr. Mitchell on his own back to the roof. "Don't worry, Mr. Mitchell, we'll get you out safely," he said breathlessly. At 7:30 p.m., the second floor also surrendered to the water. Now the roof was the only option. The hospital roof wasn't designed for 58 people, but Sean turned it into an organized camp area. He placed critical patients in the safest corner, ambulatory patients in the middle section. It was cold that October night in Tennessee. Sean gave his jacket to 82-year-old Mrs. Davis. "Doctor, won't you be cold?" the elderly woman asked. "I'm fine. You're more important," Sean said. The water continued to rise. Looking from the roof, the hospital was almost completely underwater. Phone networks had collapsed. Radio communication was weak. Sean constantly tried to communicate with Virginia State Police and Tennessee National Guard. "We have 58 people here, all safe but need urgent evacuation." The hardest moments came when it started raining. Sean and his team tried to protect patients with plastic tarps. No one complained. Even elderly patients showed resilience. It was past midnight when they heard the first helicopter. Sean waved his flashlight. "We're here. 58 people." Tennessee National Guard and Virginia State Police helicopters began arriving in turns. Each time they could take 4 to 5 people. Sean applied triage, first the most critical patients, then the elderly, finally staff. The evacuation took 6 hours. Sean boarded the last helicopter, making sure the last person was safe. This was the rescue squad tradition. The leader exits last. When the last helicopter took off from the roof at 6 a.m., Sean looked back and saluted the hospital. 58 people had been rescued, no losses. When Tennessee National Guard and Virginia State Police rescue helicopters arrived, they found a perfectly coordinated operation. 58 patients and staff in organized groups, arranged by medical priority, all under Sean's professional coordination. "Incredible," said the rescue team leader. "Who coordinated this operation?" Sean hesitated. Decision moment. Dr. Sean Oxenbine, Ballard Health Chief Medical Officer, 17-year Putnam County Rescue Squad Specialist, EMT, Presidential Medal of Valor recipient. "And today I focused on rescuing 58 people," Sean said quietly. Complete silence from the rescue team. The community's respected chief medical officer was actually an elite rescue squad specialist. "Medal of Valor? You're the hero who received the award at the White House?" the rescue pilot asked in amazement. 17 years of rescue squad experience, emergency coordination, life-saving operations, maximum rescue with limited resources. The rescue teams were grateful for the professional coordination. "Doctor, the coordinated organization saved 58 lives." News spread rapidly. Chief Medical Officer rescues 58 people during Hurricane Helene. Medal of Valor and Rescue Squad background revealed. NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson conducted an interview. Sean described the event. "There were literally flowing rapids, probably 6 inches to a foot high, flowing within the building. Every team member, even with that, were pushing those gurneys to get them out through the doors. Tennessee State Government and ETSU Alumni Association organized recognition ceremonies." Sean remained humble about the attention. "I'm just the chief medical officer. These patients and staff were my responsibility. They needed to be protected." Tennessee media wrote Sean's story. "Dr. Oxenbine, your coordination saved 58 lives. Without your rescue squad experience, it could have been a tragedy. Coordination skills activate when needed, but I prefer providing peaceful medical service to the community rather than emergency situations." Sean's story isn't just about coordination heroism, it's about the evolution of protective service spirit, the application of rescue squad life-saving skills to hospital management. So, I ask you, do you know rescue squad veterans who serve quietly in your community? Those with hidden EMT and emergency coordination backgrounds who contribute silently in hospital systems? Share your experiences in the comments. Because at Hidden Legends, we believe the greatest protectors often serve at the most critical moments. If this story moved you, share it, subscribe, and to help these important veteran service stories continue. See you in the next legend. And remember, next time you see a chief medical officer, hospital administrator, or emergency medicine specialist, you might encounter life-saving specialists with rescue squad backgrounds. Real heroes transform their forms of service, but protective sensitivity is eternal.